What's up, everybody? I hope this is working. I have my phone, not joking. My phone is letting me know if this is streaming or not. It looks like it is. All right, good. Let me know if there's audio, visual, and everything working well for whatever reason. Right as I was about to go live, my MacBook went into an automatic. I have it set up for security things only, for automatic, but it automatically did an Mac OS update, and now I can't pull up the YouTube Studio for whatever reason. So I just pushed it live through OBS. I think it's good. All right, so I have no way to really see what's going on other than my phone down here, but I'm going to go ahead. We're going to jump into this. We're doing TA, trade setups, what's going on. So I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the show. It's like tech in retrograde or something right now, but that's okay. My name's Kellam. We're going to dive right on into it. We're going to go to about 4:10 or so, so about 40 minutes. Sorry, very sorry for the late set. There's nothing I could have done about it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, hit the like button in opposition to tech supposedly making things easier, but lately it's only been having issues. So sorry for that. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on today. We're going to dive right into the charts. Let's go ahead. Are we logged in? Yeah, we're logged in already. And there is my chart, which you can see is not showing up. So it's because I just had to reboot the computer, and boom, boom, boom. Here we are. You should be able to see that. Yes, you can. All right, cool. Everything should be there. The machines are rising, says Falco. All right, everybody, let's talk charts. Let's talk TA. Let's talk if we could see if there's any setups. We talk macro a lot, primarily in the morning show, news, context, as well as what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We touch on altcoins as well, but this afternoon stream, we are gearing towards starting to do trading with you all, walking you through it, doing setups. We're also involved right now in the KCGI BitGet competition. So if you haven't yet, the link right down below in description. Sign up if you are a viewer anywhere outside of the U.S. I believe, well, most jurisdictions outside of the U.S., because the U.S. is really on top of shit over here, right? Well, they're not. But so if you're outside of the US, UK, Europe, anywhere else, sign up, open up a BitGet account down there, and you'll be able to join our team if you've signed up through our link. If Alexander G or Alex, if one of you could share that link in the chat, I'd appreciate it. Let's talk about what's going on here. Let's see what we want to do. I'm going to have a hard time. The only way I can see chat is here on my phone. So I'm not really going to be able to watch chat. So we're just going to go through, I think we're going to go through a lot of the top coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, BNB. We'll hit some below that as well, maybe Litecoin. And I'll try to keep my eye on the chat that's down over here. But let's be honest, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. I have a hard time watching chat anyway, so I'm going to put that right there. All righty. B-Team Crypto, what's up? Alexander G, Bit Voodoo, Red Elephant, Falco is in there, Granny's Garden, Jeanette, Alex Why the fuck would sound go out? I don't understand. Check, check, check. Starts kicking. Check. Came back. I don't know what is going on. I'm going to do a little. Welcome to BitLab Academy, everybody. We're doing TA today. Let's get it started. My name's Kellam. Let's do it. We're jumping right in. Throwing away all of the tech issues. I don't know what's going on. Is there a little tech gnome in here just messing with wires? I don't know. Okay, Cardano. We're going to go down the list and shout out to everybody. Honestly, I don't know what's going on, but we are here. We're here for it. There's a couple choice words you may have heard when that was pulled out. I see Morel pop in here. He says, sound. But you couldn't hear those words. I'm sure you could read my lips, though. Okay. Cardano breaking down. We've been talking about this for a long time. Is there a setup in the cards? Let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. We're going to do a little bit of turbo TA as we can get through as many coins as possible and see if there's anything brewing for a setup. As it stands right now, that chart sucks because you see right here when I say this chart sucks, you see how these candles are? We can tell that there's not a lot of volume involved in this trading. So we come over here, you see how this is same time frame. Same asset, different exchange. So looking here on MEXC, we can also look down here on Cardano, Coinbase. And on this, I'm going to move this. Maybe this is what we got bumped already. Guys, we're all here together. Your voice is just too mana low. Falco, thank you for the super chat. Cannot believe I'm able to see the super chats easier on my phone than when I have them on the screen in front of me. But hey, we're here for it. Everybody, if you would, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell for the frustration for which I live in right now. We are here together. Big love to everybody. All righty. So Cardano, we're looking at this. It's sideways accumulation. This is the name of the game right now. In fact, we had a lot of price action rolling over and we are sideways accumulating. And it's important to note that we are above this previous low. The question is here, is this going to push up and try to test this liquidity zone? The high here at 2478, or test this liquidity zone up here where we had this head and shoulders, which remember, option T, come down to that neckline. What are we talking about the neckline? How do you identify it? Where did all the lows come in at? Right in here. So this was the measure move to the downside. And look at this. Basically come down, extended a little bit beyond this, but for the most part, this was a very accurate move as portrayed by the candles on this chart. So price action breakdown. We have broken back above this trend signal line, but we're chopping right in this zone. It's not able to make a decision. In the place of not being able to make a decision, know this. If an asset is having trouble making a decision when you're looking just at a particular smaller time frame like this, consolidating sideways, the bias is going to go in the direction of the trend that supersedes it. So the trend that supersedes this 1 hour chart right here, if we come out to the 4 hour chart, we can see the trend. What direction is this trend? You tell me. To me, this trend looks like it is going down and to the right. So if this is having the small consolidation right here, this means the narrative is in favor of the bears. So if this is the case, let's get back down to the 1 hour chart. Double click here. The 1 hour chart is suggesting that we are consolidating. It's actually showing that we are consolidating, but we are not able to even test up into these regional areas where the price action had a lot of choppiness. Right here, we had a rejection, all across this level below this point of control line that we have right here, this teal line, which is painted out from this, the BitLab volume. So we're getting rejected below this. In fact, we're starting to kind of test these lows here. The next step in this equation is, yes, maybe a little bit of a liquidity grab to the upside, but the probabilities are in favor of this price action moving from roughly about right here, if it loses this level, down into this zone. That's about a 2.23% move. Now, there's two things you need to realize here. 2.23% doesn't feel like a lot. If you stack, for instance, if you're a scalp trader throughout the day and you stack 2% trades, then, and you're doing this every day, you're making 6% every day. That ends up being quite a lot. Now, if you're leverage trading, and I don't want to say caution, but I want to really encourage you, if you're going to leverage trade, do whatever you think this is the right level to do, cut it in half. master it, and then learn how to scale up. So if you're going to do, if you want to do 10x, do 5x. If you want to do 5x, do 2.5x. Your profits will never be mad at you for being in profit. But the second you start getting greedy and scaling up, trying to, oh no, but I know this trade, I'm going to do 22x. That's a trade that ends up stealing a significant portion of your portfolio. So don't do it. So we can see right here, price action consolidating. This is suggesting, based on the narrative of what we've seen in markets, that there is more likely than not going to be a test to the downside. That would bring us down here into the 2375 region. So on this move, if you were to trade this and you're trying to scalp this, this may be more attractive for leverage traders. And again, don't jump in just because it's attractive for leverage traders. You may not be a leverage trader. And if you're going to be, make sure you have tight stops in place. And remember, that exponent, whether you're doing 5x, 2x, 30x, that multiple is equivalent also for the downside risk. So if price action moves up, if you short and price action moves up 1% and you're on 30x, you just lost 30%. In fact, you're probably, you're getting close to, you start moving in towards liquidation territory. So looking at this, this is looking like it's trying to test into this zone. Let's get a little bit more clarity. I'm going to go to the 24 minute. Look at that. It's pushing up into these previous lows, order block, trend signal line, and it's having some resistance. So even if we push up a little higher, where we just saw that point of control line, which is right through all of this zone, pushing up right next to where the weekly VWAP is. If we push up towards a weekly VWAP and get rejected or reject from here, I'm looking for a break. I'm looking for a break below about 24.28. And then the next line down, let me go back out to the 1 hour. Yeah. And then the next level down, 24.26. And the next line down will be down here into the 23.73, right in the middle of this order block region. Now, if you're going to take this trade, you come over here, go to short position here on the left. You just hit this little arrow and you get two different options. Short position. If you were to short this, move this down just a touch. There we go. And we can move this right into this zone here. And you see, this is a risk reward of 3.53. This is good. This means your reward outweighs what your risk is on this trade if it goes against you and you get closed out. So this is a setup that I'm seeing here. Now, is it primed to happen? Well, coming back down to the 24-minute chart. The reason I use 24-minute instead of the 30-minute is because the 24-minute gives you a little bit of a front run on the 30-minute. So if people are trading on the 30-minute, you're getting a little bit different data. And we can see right here, price action pushing up. You're wondering if it's going to roll over. We're seeing the strength of this particular move, not the general trend. The strength of this particular move here on the stochastics, on the trend fuel down here, BitLab trend fuel. We can see that this is starting to roll over. In fact, we identified this morning, I believe, that we do have a trend line here. And what's happening on this trend line is each time the stochastics push into this, rolls over, push into this, roll over. In fact, we're getting lower highs on this. This is starting to roll over. This is suggesting weakness at this level. And look at this. It's already starting to get a little bit of a rejection, especially if this candle closes like this. This is now changing directions. This candle is broken below this. If it closes this way, we may end up getting a wick in this push higher. So we need to keep an eye on this. But if this does pull back down, then remember I was saying 20, I think it was 24, 26 level for a potential downside. So this is looking like it's setting up for that downside move. Let's go to, I want to do BNB, because BNB is one of the largest market caps out there. And it's been showing, so it's been dancing between scariness and then just consolidating. So let's get the view on what's happening here. It looks like we got a trend here. Okay, we had some, this establishing this liquidity zone below us, this pushing up and establishing two liquidity zones above us. But once we broke back down, consolidated, we've created a tap here, tap to the bottom, tap here to the top, tap here to the bottom. We have got a zone. We have a sideways trading channel now between two high points, high interest levels of liquidity. And so what are we doing here? We want to identify, is this a trade, or is this just going to be, is this going to offer a trade that's going to make us money, or is this just something that's going to range? As it stands right now, look at this, much lower low, much lower. When we're zoomed in on this, it's very noticeable low, I should say that. If we look right here in that same time period, we're getting about the same level here. See the stochastics coming across, and we see this much lower low. We also see the same thing. The RSI does have a little bit higher high and a lower high here, but look at this. The RSI is angled to the downside. We have the little diamond right here, which is similar to these triangles. It's just it just means that this momentum wave has not gone up past the 70 line, but this is showing that this is trying to clip and roll over. And we can see pulling down, it's finding support currently, finding support at the weekly VWAP, and bounce, tested a little bit below the trend signal line in the weekly VWAP, but currently it's sitting above it. If it closes here, maybe there's a little bit of hope. But even on the smallest time frame, or a smaller time frame, I shouldn't say smallest, we do have a bit of a rising, broadening wedge, which when we look at this, it's kind of already broken out to the downside. See this? Broke out to the downside, came up, retested, showing continuation to the downside. So we had a rising, broadening wedge, which is a bearish structure. Remember, if you haven't yet, heading over to bitlabacademy.com, we talk about these different candles, candle patterns, different candles individually, but also candle patterns and how to use that to help shape your narrative, understanding of where the bulls and the bears are headed. Enroll right here if you want to jump in. We still have that give me 30 for 30% off your first month. You also get access to the premium Discord with the all access membership. And you also get access to the indicators if you get the BitLab Pro membership, as well as a premium Discord and the all access to courses. So this is, look, see, it came down. We had the wick. Where does Piano Matty B says, where it wicks, little candlestick. We see this large wick to the downside. Now we're losing this weekly VWAP. This is on the 1 hour. I'm looking for a test down into the zone, 209. It's about two. Why does it not work when it's near the price? So it's about 1% move. For me, that's not a very tradable event. I'm not going to go 20x leverage to make this move worth it. Now, you all might have a different strategy. I don't know. Yes, I love to trade. So yeah, if you haven't yet, join us on BitGet. Sign up with our link. It's also, just so you know, and this isn't just for us, this is for anybody out there. It is very important. You've seen what's happened with different exchanges and different accounts. It's important to have, especially with your trading portfolio, not only do you allocate capital across a diverse portfolio. When you are trading, you have an allocation of your overall portfolio that you designate for trading. And then even within trading, I split up my trading portfolio across 3, 4, 5 exchanges. And in addition to that, even on the same exchange, I will have 2 or 3 different accounts so I can have different trades that I'm managing specifically, whether it's mid cap, large cap, micro caps, if I'm only focused on longs, if I'm focused on shorts. That way I keep my stuff organized. And then also if an account gets hacked, only that money gets affected. So it is another good way to diversify. So sign up with that BitGet link there, partner.bitget. You'll see it. Alexandra G put it in there. Now here, price action, BNB. It is looking like it's, I don't want to say continue to the downside, but zoomed in here. This is looking like it's trying to test this zone. Now the question is going to be, once we get here, this is a question. This is a little midway stopping journey. If the bulls are trying to stay in control, the price action will come into here, bounce, and then continue up. If we lose this level, then we are, one, still ranging, but then looking to, we have our next level outlined here, about 204, right where this little square line is. If you can see this square line right here? This is printed on the chart with the BitLab intelligence based on what's happening with the high volume sell and candles and the stopping volume. We can see it gives you a zone that offers a good level of stop losses and potential entries as well. In this case, this line was printed from this candle here. And look at where price came down to, bounced right on that line and came up. So similarly, look at this. This line was printed here. Price action came up, found this level, got rejected. This level rejected. Now we did push a little bit higher here. Rejected. Now the bulls are in charge. So they're breaking it. Break above it, find support, and find support also on this weekly VWAP. So using these different signals in combination is really where the sauce is. So we can see, we already know what's happening here. This is looking like it's got the rejection and a confirmation of trying to move to the downside. So again, this is my ultimate target in the immediate future, about 209, 209.20 to I can't see. Yeah, about 209. We'll call it 209, 209.20. If we lose this coming down into the 204, if we lose 204, this is when it starts getting a little bit scary. And I won't say like scary, but remember, we have that giant cliff. What do I mean by cliff? We have the giant cliff on BNB that if we start losing this level, then ultimately this is the level we really are watching, 181. If we cannot hold 181, we have very weak support at 130. That's the next stop. That's a significant drop. We can't hold 130. The next stop is down here in the low 50s, actually mid 40s. So I'm really keeping an eye on BNB, because if BNB really has an issue, this could be something, although it is an independent coin, hypothetically, it is very tied in with the nature of Binance. It's Binance coin. So if this has an issue and drops 80%, that would cause a lot of different stresses on assets and capital flow within Binance, which would in turn cause a lot of fear in the market. So I'm watching this. Now, if it comes down into the zone and bounces, either holds here or bounces anywhere above this, starts rounding out, it could be a good opportunity. I don't think the opportunity is there yet. So that's what I'm thinking on BNB. Ethereum. How could we skip Ethereum? Did we already do Ethereum? I don't remember. I know we did it this morning. Ethereum. There we go. So rolling over, we talked about this, pushing down. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. It's kind of similar to Binance, but this is kind of like a descending trading channel. We got the push up, immediate rejection, stopping volume on the way up. And currently, what's interesting about this, currently, look at this. It bounced right at the trend signal line, this line right here, as it's turning up. Tried to flip green, immediately flip back red. And we have the weekly VWAP. Both of these kind of bounced off here pretty strong, and it's trying to hold here. Excuse me. So it's trying to hold here. The question is going to be in 7 minutes. This is a 4-hour candle. It'll be interesting to see where the narrative is going here, because stochastics look like they're trying to roll over. Momentum wave is not giving us a lot of clarity, and we're getting a mixed signals here on the dashboard, but we're getting rejected at this volume node right above us. So what do? Let's get some better resolution. Let's get down to the 1-hour chart. Inefficient move up, equally inefficient move to the downside. That's how you understand what's going on with price action. If things are stair-stepping up, a lot healthier breakdown from those points versus when you have a very, very, very rapid move to the upside, because then you don't have any liquidity interest along the way. So there's no stopping points for the price action when it's coming back down. This is exactly what's happening right here. Now, in this case, do we have a little bit of a trend line? We do, but here's the deal. It is a little bit of a trend line, very little. I would not trade on the breakdown of this line because it's not substantial enough for me to really see value in it. Now, we do have the stochastics are already quite low. They're not super low. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this a little bit. Stochastics are, we can see right here, if I put my mouse right where this is how you see the measurement of things sometimes if you're not sure. You don't know, is this high or low? Put your mouse here and look right over here on the right. It tells you the measurement. So this is right at the 27%. So it's below 30%. It's starting to get into the oversold area, but this could go all the way down into this zone down here. We can see though that we do have a little bit of a trend line. Let's see if it connects at all. No, that does not. But we do have kind of more like this. So this is, so regionally, stochastics, bounce just above it, small deviation below, bounce right at. And look at where we're at right now. Are we going to get a bounce, or is this going to move down? The momentum wave's rolling over. The RSI is starting to bounce. So is this going to signal something? Well, what do we look to? Look right here on the dashboard, right here to the right. This is showing us that there's a lot of bearishness in, this is neutral, bearish. All these reds are bearish signal setups within the BitLab trend fuel. And this is holding right in the zone. We could very well get a push back up here into the 1632s, but as it stands right now, this is not giving me an idea of a setup to trade just because of the consolidatory factor. I'm not even sure if consolidatory is a word. I heard Kraken is listing stock soon. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I've been so torn with all the different content we've been stepping up to the plate to make that, yeah. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We're doing this together. We had some issues at the start of the scream. I was about to scream. Start of the stream, but we're doing it. This is kind of feeling like a no man's zone right now with Ethereum. If we zoom out of this a little bit, let me get back out to the 4 hour. This is ultimately where I'm looking for it to come back down into, and this is where my area of interest is, 1535. If we lose this zone, then I think we're going to be testing down into the mid 1400s. And if there's ultimately bearishness, not just some downtrend, but I think we're going to be coming down into the 1380s. I don't think we're quite yet there. I think, remember, we have the huge options expiry Friday. So some of this right now, looking for trade setups, you got to do the work so you can be prepared so you can take the setups. We may find a setup today. We saw a little bit of one in Cardano, a little bit of one. But you have to ask yourself, every time you take a trade, you're taking a risk. Is it lining up with all the signals you want to see to really take a highly probable trade? I think there's going to be a lot of holding patterns today and tomorrow, potentially even into Friday afternoon, because we have the options expiry. And then it'll be interesting to see what happens with the volume and the interest on Saturday and Sunday, being that most of the institutional traders are not in the market. So volume has a lot more impact with the retail. And then Monday, it's going to be quite interesting. Start of a new month. October tends to be a pretty good month for Bitcoin. Throw one in chat if you're looking for a good month, or if you are looking for those lower prices and you don't care if it's a bad month. Because let's be honest, there is no good price or bad price. There's just, are you prepared? So let's kind of continue on here. Let's see, ADA. I want to do some of the big ones first. XRP. XRP, we are, let's see. I don't know what chart this was. What happened to my good chart? All right, let's 4 hour. So we had the move. Let's go ahead and zoom out on this just so you guys can see how I had this drawn. We have this trend line here from this point to this point. This 2 points made a diagonal. And if you zoom out here, this comes all the way to this point, to this point, to this point, which gave us, isn't it crazy? Look at to the mark where this price action came up into, got rejected. Then we had these points kind of projected out, and this kind of came right into this actually should be adjusted a little bit, just like that. There we go. There we go. So boom, boom, boom. And then we get these 2 points, boom, boom. So we had the wick go up to here, and then this settled right in the zone, candle closures, right where this other projection came into. Now, price action broke down. We talked about that. As soon as this pushed up, that day, I was talking about looking at a price. As soon as it started reversing, looking at a price in this level, and if it was lost, coming back in to test this zone down here. We've lost this zone, which feels scary. Why does it feel scary? Because we lost the zone, and all we wanted to do is go up. Well, here's the deal. Scariness. We've already talked about this. There is something at play here that we have to pay attention to. There's a very ugly, not quite head and shoulders, which is right here. We've talked about this on the stream before. Shoulder, head. Is there a bit of a shoulder? It's kind of like the hunchback of Notre shoulder here, because you got a very lopsided shoulders, but very similar structure here. This got rejected right at this previous support, now resistance. So are we going to see this sort of move down into the 26s? I don't think that's going to happen because of the strength of the community and everything on the horizon. However, I do think if we start pushing down and testing this level, the 47.8, then I do think that there's a high likelihood we're going to come down into the 42 to 41 zone. And ultimately, if we do have a pullback in XRP, I'm looking at, somewhere in this zone down here and ultimately to settle. Because if we pull this across here, we can see that there's a lot of price traded in this zone. We can actually pull this across here. Look, rejection, a lot of price interaction, bounce just above this. And so coming down to this zone, testing below this to get that liquidity from people. We're getting to the part of the market that is the most exciting part of the market, that parabolic uptrend. But we cannot count on that yet because we're not there. But what we can do is we can be prepared and understand that big money and smart money is going to do everything that it can to squeeze as much liquidity out of people who are not prepared. What does that mean? Coming down to a known level to bounce off of and then get people to go long, start sending it up and then reverse it and test down below that level from which people don't think it's going to go. That is the most regular plan that I see in this market that happens. And yeah, Alexander G says Ponzi schemes. I hear you. Yeah. So this is not looking bullish for XRP, but you ask, Kelly, what about the momentum wave? Let's just look at it very quickly. This momentum wave is very arced, but is it? Is it? Let's zoom in on this. Yes, it tried to. It made the move. Made the move. One tried to go in for the kiss. The girl said nope. So is this going to continue to the downside or not? It's hard to tell because we do have the stochastics are bouncing right here. RSI bounced right here. But what I'm seeing is actually more of broad weakness within the space. Barring any change in the SEC and legal standing of XRP, as a security, and the court cases and the appeals. There's so much that's being wrapped around the potentialities of what can happen with XRP. We need to trade. We need to trade with patience, but with the strategy and an open mind that may go completely against the pattern that you're seeing. This is why, even though this is a bit of a head and shoulders with the target down in the 25s, 26s, I think the 3 year of waiting for the SEC decision to come in, and the community and the institutions out there that are aware, because they're actively participating in integrating RippleNet and integrating all the different things that XRP and Ripple are doing for the traditional financial system, as well as just the other projects. That I do think this area. I do think that this area is a good sort of zone to. If it dips down into here, I will be pouring in heavy. That's what I'm seeing. That's XRP. Let's go down to, need a couple, MATIC. Let's look at MATIC. How many MATIC holders out there? We got too many lines on the screen. Let's go ahead and just agree on that. Let's delete all the lines. You know what? Here, boom. Remove drawings. There we go. Okay. Starting a bit fresh here because this is very obvious. Why is this very obvious? Because you can see it's very easy to see that there's trend lines here. You have a deviation, sure. You have a deviation. It's okay. So we look, touch is just below it, but touch. So we've got a clear level of resistance above us. This is on the 12-hour. We're starting to form a little bit of a base here. You see how this is moving down and then this is moving sideways? But when did this also happen? This also happened, look, right here and right here. So forming a base doesn't mean it is the base from which the bull trend is going to be birthed. It's just suggesting there's a cool-off period from the bearish narrative. So coming down to the 4-hour, is there a setup? Look at this, boom. Now it's kind of rolling over here. Where is my volume? Okay, 4-hour, we got 2 liquidity zones, order blocks right above us. So if this pushes up, if there's a bullish case to be made, it would be met with hesitation right in the zone. 2 order blocks, as well as a descending level of resistance right above us. But more locally, we know this is a midterm time frame, almost a midterm, long-term time frame resistance. We have something more locally right in here. And look at this. So we have these levels that have also created a base here. Look at this, rejection, push up, bounce up, bounce up, bounce up, bounce. So there's a little bit of confusion within MATIC holders right now, and it's not offering clear signal. Now, what we can see though is right here. Do we have a trend line right here? It's hard to say because this is not bounced up yet, so we cannot count on this. If this bounces here, great. This may as well just fall through though, so we're not going to utilize this. Momentum wave is angled to the downside. Stochastic still angled down, but starting to round. Let's get down 1-hour time frame. What does it say? Okay, we had some bullish divergence. Okay, where did this line up? Bullish divergence. You see this triangle to this triangle, green line. Some of the stronger bullish divergences it outlines. Look at this. We had 2 bullish divergences here on BitLab Intelligence as well. Money flow, hidden bulls, stochastics. We had 4 right here. RSI, demand index, Chaikin money flow, momentum, and then right in this zone right here, this is just following the divergences. This is where the divergence is printed. Do you see this? And then it took a couple more liquidity pressure to the downside, washout, to then launch it back up. And where did it get rejected? Look at this, weekly VWAP. So yes, it broke the trend signal line, the deviation, not any true bull strength there. So it got rejected here. It came right back down, tested this line. It's pushing up. So this is kind of a looking a little bit on the sidelines right now for MATIC. I think it's possible that this may just trickle down. I do not really want to see this. I mean, it's going to do whatever it wants. But if I'm bullish and I'm looking for upside, one, I need to be more patient because that's not the narrative in the markets right now. But two, I think this will, I don't want this to come down like this, find support, find resistance here, and then take some people's bags. So I'm a little bit on the sidelines here with MATIC. I mean, this is not a head and shoulders, but similar sort of principles. Push up, larger push up, smaller push up. If this were to be the case, what is the measurement there? That would be to about right there. And then but look at that. I didn't even notice that before. That takes us right into that order block that I was saying I don't really want to see, because then we're back under a major trend line. So MATIC's a little bit of a no-go zone for me right now. Everything is so tight. This is the hardest part of the market to trade, so everybody knows. So you don't feel discouraged. And in fact, what you're doing is you're forging yourself in fire right now so that you can enjoy room temperature once we get in a strong bullish trend. Bullish trends, I don't want to say are easy, but they're a lot more understandable to define a strategy and work it, because it's kind of rinse and repeat as the price is just pushing up. And then you need, knowing this and this hard range trading and patient sort of time frame, if you really cut your teeth right now and these difficult to really find regular setups across different assets, which is what happens in a bull trend, this forces you to be patient. So let's continue on looking. What else we got? Link. We talked about this before. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. We have this rising wedge. And look, we drew this, I think, a day or two ago, and this is getting tighter and tighter. We had a deviation up here, and look at that. Where did it bounce? It got rejected right here at this blue descending trend line right in the middle of this order block. So I told you guys, I said this, I think yesterday or the day before. I said, if the price action breaks up, which it can, I'm expecting it to get rejected in the zone, which is somewhat in line with this high, this order block, and this descending level of resistance. I said that specifically, and likely get rejected and come back into the zone. This is 100% of what happened. So the question is this going to make another attempt and break out? Or is this news fueling the speculative sort of pump here that once that news sentiment sort of wears off, and there's no new integrations that are really happening right now. A lot of it is we're working on doing this. We talked about it on this morning's stream. This very well may come in here and then actually break down and test down here to 659, which is this low. And then ultimately, if we can't hold above this zone right here, then we may be coming back down where? To the bottom side of this range that we have been in for 2 years. 512, 520. And again, that would be a phenomenal spot to get link. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. Let's see, is there any other major ones? I think we covered quite a bit today. Smash and grab, that's right. All right, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance, actually, let's take a peek here first before we go. 4-hour chart, let's turn off the indicators. And we can see where is this? It's right here. Where is? All right. So price action. Bitcoin dominance trying to work its way up. But look at this, push up, sideways, little test down, push up, sideways, kind of testing this sort of zone here. Push up, kind of working its way down, but is this going to be a bit of a bull flag semi scenario where this is pushed up, tested, and is it going to continue higher? Right now, look at how much difference there is in this high and this high here. Yes, there's also a little bit of a lower high here, but this is significantly weaker here. Is this suggesting that this is just going to potentially trade sideways a little bit? Not even traded, but perform sideways, because we're looking at the relationship of Bitcoin to all the other altcoins in the market. We want to pay attention to this, because if this is going up, it's also showing a lot of weakness with the alts, AKA a lot of strength, capital flowing into Bitcoin over alts. So this is still kind of in the same zone that we've been expecting. So Bitcoin, What's our final say on you? Bitcoin, we're here on the 4-hour chart. Double click. We're on the 12-hour chart. Here on the 4-hour chart, we lost the zone. Let's come up here. There we go. Got a higher low. Attempt, weak attempt, back down. We do have this momentum wave that is arced pretty significantly here, but the stochastics are angled to the downside. This is touched up, rolled over, touched up, and it's rolling over. It's down at the 59% mark, and the RSI currently is back below 50. It's here at 46. Negative money flow. That's what this purple is right here. See how this deep, this is showing a lot of money coming out. Blue is showing money coming in. So we're seeing money coming out even in the midst of this price action trying to be pushed to the upside. I ultimately still think that we're looking at a trade to this zone right here, 25,124. Now the question is, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of argument about whether or not we'll lose this level. So I'm not taking a trade from here to here. What I'm looking at is if price action does, if price action were to get down here, I'm looking at trading the breakdown of this down into the mid 23.5s. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. I love you guys. I'm so sorry with the tech issues earlier. Make sure you head over to BitLab Academy. Get involved, get a part of our community. If there's any way you ever want to help support the channel, even if you join as an all access member, so you're in the premium Discord, I think I'm going to move some of the community talk during the stream to those members in Discord to drive you guys there so we can build our community, not just when I'm online, so we can be talking on a regular basis and doing what we do, sharing charts, breaking things down, having private members streams within Discord. There's so much that's going to be going on. So get over to BitLab Academy, come up here, click the enroll now. You can see right here on the top right, click enroll now. And when you click enroll now, you will see you have the BitLab Pro, you have the basic free indicators. For whatever reason, my internet, maybe I didn't click it. The internet's not working so fast for me when I'm doing my stream. It doesn't matter. Click enroll now. You'll see the free access. That's just the very basic beginner courses. That's these right here. And then the all access provides access to all of these as well as the premium Discord. The BitLab Pro has both those things and the BitLab Academy indicators. And of course, the BitLab Pro has everything about 30% off bundled together because we didn't want people spending over $100. And you get an additional 30% off using that code GIVEME30. So get in there. It's the easiest way you can help support this channel. Love you guys, and you can build that community with us together and help shape the content we're doing. I gotta go. So I will see you later. Adios, muchachos. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Hit that like button, sucker.